Welcome to Bator International's Classic Online Motorcycle Sales. Today we're going to go with Chapter 4 of the teardown of this 1957 Harley Davidson Sportster. Last chapter we went ahead and pulled off a number of items, the generator, battery box, and so on, to go ahead and get the bike prepped for the full teardown. Today we're going to go ahead and pull off the fenders, front and back, and oil tank, of course, and some of the other peripherals, and see if we can go ahead and get the engine torn out today. If not, that'll be in Chapter 5. Today we have our good friend Mr. Josh Sewell helping us out. Say hi, Josh.
Hello.
And he's going to go ahead and assist us in the teardown today, so we should be able to go a little quicker. And as you see, she's coming along quite nicely, so we'll go ahead and get the job started right now. Okay, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is pull the rear fender off. So that basically means pulling the screws out of the struts, and then also you have the wiring to the taillight that comes down here to the brake light switch. So we'll disconnect the brake light switch, pull all the wires off so we can remove that, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and nuts, and basically that's what will pull off the rear fender. So we'll jump on that right now, and then we'll go to the next step. While Josh is working away on pulling the rear fender, I'll go ahead and start in on the removing the oil tank and the oil tank lines so we can get this out of the way as well. We have to remove the lines from the back side of the tank itself, which go down into the actual case. Make sure that you have all the oil out of the tank, of course, before you do so. And the bracket, which I'll come around and show you, has one bolt here, and then there's also one 7/16 bolt up here at the very top. Matter of fact, I think there's two. Yeah, there's two of them here. And so just make sure you get those two pulled, that one pulled, and then the oil tank will actually come off. When removing the back fender, you want to make sure that you don't scratch it on the way out. So sometimes if you loosen the nut on your rear shock stay, as well as the bolt for the actual rear forks or the rear fender strut, you can actually spread it out just a little bit so you do not scratch your fender on the way out. Okay, our good friend Mr. Josh went ahead and pulled all the nuts out of the back side of the screws here, loosened up the bolts and the nuts so we have a little bit of play on these arms here. So we're going to go ahead and pull the rear fender off now, and so we don't scratch it. And he also removed the wiring off the other side, off of the brake light switch as well. So that's all disconnected. So let's go ahead and give her a pull and see how she goes. Okay, now that we have the rear fender removed, we're going to go ahead and pull the rear license plate stay, and also go ahead and remove the rear taillight. And as you can see, fairly simple, few nuts on the back side, and then also the wiring has like a flute back here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it holds the actual wiring loom in place so it doesn't rub up against the tire. So we'll go ahead and get this disassembled and go on to the next step. Josh went ahead and pulled off the oil tank and removed it from the bracket. Now he's removing the bracket from the frame itself, as you can see. Again, it's just a couple of 7/16 bolts up at the top. He's got the 1/2 inch removed down here. When I say 7/16 and 1/2 inch, we're talking about the head of the actual bolt itself. And as you can see on this motorcycle, they got items like this, like the chrome spacer and whatnot, that's all incorrect, and the chrome rear axle. So we'll replace all that with proper CAD and Parkerized. This is all Parkerized actually. So we'll go through those and make sure that's all correct. And also these are stainless steel spokes, which they are correct, but as you can see, the heads of the spokes themselves have the little B for Buchanan, so that should have been removed before the wheel was laced up. Some of the other peripherals that we'll go ahead and take off today as well is the coil and the coil mounts, very simple. And we'll also pull off the brake arm, the stays here, but you can see this is actually a right hand stay for the foot peg, but they've drilled it and used it for a left hand, so this obviously is going to have to go away. So you can see it sort of leans forward when you fold it up. It shouldn't do that. It should go backwards. So this is incorrect. Removing the brake arm, Josh is going to go ahead and remove the rod from this side, also the rear chain guard, and he'll go ahead and pop the rear chain off as well. So Josh has removed the 2 screws for the rear chain guard, and he's extracting it now. Then we'll go ahead and pull the chain from the master link, and we'll remove the brake arm and also the rear exhaust muffler stay. So she's getting lighter by the moment. While Josh is working here on the right hand side, he's going to go ahead and pull the foot peg brackets, the rear chain case, the rear chain, as well as the rear muffler stay. We're moving right along, got quite a bit taken off the bike so far. One of the things I did want to note, when you do pull off your chain cover here, you will have your clutch cable that you're going to have to deal with. So just know that you'll have to, and it's very hard for me to do with one hand, you just have to rotate it around and get that slid off and then popped, and then the actual cover will come off. So there you have it. Josh is going to go ahead and pull the master link off of the chain here, pop it loose, and then we'll go ahead and start pulling the motor mounts off, the rears as well as the fronts, and we'll see about getting the engine pulled out of the chassis. One of the things I did want to point out, we were just looking over the bike, and if you take a look at these spokes, you'll see that it looks like they're bent. You can see it's sort of bows here. So it's one of 2 things. Number one, either the front wheel is laced improperly, or it's the wrong hole pattern for the front wheel rim. So once we pull it down and we take a good look at it, we'll be able to determine exactly which it is. But again, it's going to have to come completely down. And again, if you take a look at the head of the actual spoke itself, it has the good old B. My friend Kenny Buchanan loves to put his B's on all of his spokes. So those will have to come off, and if we do reuse them, we'll buff those B's off and then relace it properly. But also these front spokes are supposed to have a step down in them, so if you really want to get real critical, these are the wrong front spokes. So these will probably get removed and put in the parts bin for resale. When removing an engine from the Sportster, if you'll notice, the kickstand, you cannot remove it unless you remove the little screw at the very bottom of the actual arm itself, but it's very hard to pull the plug out. So when you go to reassemble the motorcycle, and before you put the engine actually into the chassis, you make sure that you put your kickstand on the frame first before you install the engine. Before we pull the engine out, we want to double check and make sure that everything is safe and out of the way. One of the things that you do want to double check is removing the oil sending unit off of the nose of the pump. That's this unit right down here, as you can see. So you're going to want to unscrew this and get that out of the way. And also take your breather line off, and that'll also make it easier to pull the engine. So once we pull those, I think we're ready to remove the engine. We did remove all the hardware, and the plates are just sitting loose. We removed the 2 upper bolts on the back right here, 1, 2, and then you also have 2 on the back of the engine that you have to remove, these 2 large bolts there, and that is the rear motor mount. So the engine itself is loose in the frame now, and will come out easily with a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of effort. Okay, so we've removed everything except for extracting the engine itself. The front motor mount is out. We removed the front portion of the oil pump so it didn't get hung up or get cracked. These have a real tendency to break here if you're not careful. And then, like I mentioned, we have the 4 motor mounts out of the back. So the engine comes out from the right side and gets extracted to the left. because you have your inner primary case that hits the swing arm area back here, so the engine has to come out this way. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out, and then we'll be having just the standard chassis here without an engine in it. Okay, we have the engine out. That was the main goal of today's work. Here it is on the dolly. And let's just recap on some of the items that we did remove. So we've got the rear fender, chain guard, coil, motor mounts, the sprocket cover, tail light, and all the bracketing. So again, not bad. She's coming down, so the next segment will be tearing down the rest of the chassis, and then we'll be looking into the motor. Again, thank you for watching. This is Bator International, and if you want to check out our website, go to www.bator, international.com, or you can call me direct at 805-798-1802. And again, thank you very much to Josh Sewell for all the fine work he did for us today.